Dear Santander students, hope you are staying at home and staying safe. My name is Saksham Singh, your computer teacher. In the previous video, we have completed almost half the chapter of chapter 1. Now, in this video, we will continue. So, let's start. Types of network. Depending on the geographical area covered by a network, there are various types of computer networks used worldwide, which are as follows. First, personal area network PAN. PAN is centered around an individual and covers a very small area. Bluetooth is an example of a short range wireless PAN. The range of a typical Bluetooth network is just a few meters. Bluetooth is found in devices such as computer, mobile phones, speakers, and so on. Bluetooth devices contain small, low power radio transmitters and receivers. When devices with Bluetooth are within range of each other and switched on, they detect each other and get pair means connected. As you see, with the help of Bluetooth, you have connected your mobile phone, PC, printer, laptop. So this is the very small area covered by the Bluetooth. Like in your home, you can connect every phone and device with the help of Bluetooth. You will create a PAN, personal area network. Now, local area network. LAN is a private network that operates within a limit area such as an organization. This type of network connects computer and peripheral devices in the same office or buildings. LANs are widely used in schools and small offices or buildings. Since LANs cover a small area, cables or low power radio signals are used for communication. LAN, as we can see that let's take an example that there are number of computers in your computer lab, and there is a computer in the office and principal office and or any other area where computers are installed within a building. So we are creating a local area network. Campus area network, as the name implies, a CAN covers a group of buildings such as those in a college campus or an office campus. It is basically a collection of lands spread over various buildings. As you see, and there is a any university, there is a building for one building for library and one building for hostel and one building for school. All these are connected and this will create a campus area network. Metropolitan area network. MAN covers a large area than a CAN. It is often used to connect a number of LAN. This type of network used to connect computer in different offices of an organization in the same city. As there is a LAN for branch 1 and LAN for branch 2, and these two branches are connected with and this will whole can say a metropolitan area network. Now, wireless local area network VLAN uses radio signal instead of cables to connect different computers in a network. VLANs are widely used these days, especially in homes and offices. At the center of a VLAN is a wireless router called a access point. The access point is used to send and receive data from the computers in the network. Since anyone can connect to the wireless network, you should secure it with a password. VLAN, we can say there is a Wi-Fi or a router. So with the help of this Wi-Fi, you can connect any number of computer and mobile phones and anything you want. Now next is wide area network. WAN covers a very large area such as country or continent. This type of network is used to connect computers in various cities in a country or access the world. A WAN connects computers and LANs in different cities or countries via telephone lines, satellites, and fiber optic cables. A repeater is used in a WAN to exceed the signal over distance. The internet is an example of a WAN. As you see, your office is in London, America, and India, and all these offices are connected with the wide area network. Now, note wireless fidelity. Wi-Fi was basically developed for mobile devices such as laptop for exchanging data through a computer network. Now it is widely used in all PCs, smartphones, tablets, and digital audio players. So nowadays we will use Wi-Fi. There in mobile there is a mobile hotspot we create for the as a function for wireless. Now, network models. A computer network is shown in the figure given below. You will find several connected devices and computers in it. The network is further connected to the internet. How these devices are connected depends on the design or model used. The most common model is used the client server model. Client which uses the service and the server which provides the service. So In our daily life, we mostly use client server model. In the client server model, network model, there is a special software called server on a central computer, also called server. A server provides data that is to be shared by all the computers on the network. A computer connected to a network is called a workstation. The workstation connected to the server in the network are called clients. Clients are service requesters and rely on servers for resources such as printers and for access to information. As you see, this is the server and all these are the clients which request the server. As we are the clients, we request the servers through like internet, that what is we will find any information. So we are the request, we are the clients and request some service, and internet is the service provider which provide you the information which you have searched. Okay, understand? Now, peer-to-peer model. Peer-to-peer is another common network model. There is no central server in a peer-to-peer network. Each workstation on the network shares its file equally with the other. Thus, each workstation acts as a client as well as a server. This is let's take an example that you are three friends, 1, 2 and 3. All three are connected with each other. Okay, if one has anything and 3 requests this thing, so one gives the thing requested by number 3, and if anyone has, so there is a give and take in this model. If anyone has thing, it provides it acts as a server. If anyone requests anything, it acts as a client. Note: a client server network can be used to connect any number of computers, so it can be used to build large network. A peer-to-peer network is appropriate only for small business organization or for home use. Now, structure of a network, or we can say a network topology. Topology, we can say how the network, how the computers are means it's how the physical layout of the computer, how they are connected in a network. Okay, now network topology means the physical layout or diagram of the connected device in a computer network. It is the systematic description of the arrangement of a network, including its nodes and connecting lines. There are a number of ways in which network connections can be set up. Some commonly used network topologies are described below. Network topology means how the computers are connected. First is line topology. In line topology, all the devices or nodes are connected to each other in a line. It is the simplest type of topology. However, in a line topology, if the cable breaks somewhere in the middle, the whole network breaks down. As you see, all the computers are connected. If there is a break in the cable, all the computers are disconnected. Whole network will be shut down. Now, bus topology. In bus topology, all the network devices nodes are connected to a single cable line called a bus. This is called a bus. All the computers and anything are connected from there. If the bus will break down anywhere, so whole the network will fall. A bus is the communication medium through which all the devices are connected to each other. However, unlike line topology, in bus topology, individual nodes are connected to the main cable through network interface connector. The advantage of this network topology is it is easy to set up, as all the devices have to be just connected to the main network cable. The disadvantage of the network is that if the main cable, as you see this bus cable is cable breaks anywhere in the middle, the whole network breaks. But if an individual cable breaks, the system continue to function. As you see, if any computer has break, so only this will affect it, not the whole network. Ring topology. In ring topology, each node has exactly two neighbors for communication purpose. In this device, each device is connected to two other devices, forming a ring. Ring topology is a line topology where the first and the last nodes are connected to each other to form a complete circle. The advantage of this network is that the flow of information takes place in only one direction, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, from one device to the other. Because of this, data gets transferred quickly. The disadvantage of the network is that a break in a cable or node may also break the entire network. As you see, this is the ring topology. All the information are going like in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. But if any computer or any cable breaks, the whole network will break. Star topology. In star topology, all nodes are connected to the hub by a separate connection. The advantage of this topology is that the failure of a single connection does not affect the entire. You just need to fix the faulty connection. The disadvantage of this network is that if the hub fails, the entire network goes down. The setup of star topology needs more cable as compared to line, bus and ring topology. As you see, this is star topology. There is a hub in between and all the computers are connected through the hub. If any of the computer will faulty, then whole network will not faulty. You just need to fix this only computer. But if this hub becomes faulty, then the whole network will shut down. Mesh topology. In mesh topology, each node is connected to every other node in a network. A break in cable or device may not affect the entire network, as in the case of topology. A mesh topology is the best choice when you require reliability in the network. As you see, node is connected to this and this and this. Every computer is connected with the other cables of the network. So if any cable breaks, just for example, if this cable is break, then the link between this node and this computer is break only either, and all the connection remains clear. Tree topology. In tree topology, some nodes act as individual server and have branches which give a shape of a tree. Tree topology is generally used when there are chances of expansion in an existing network. A break in an individual branch network does not affect the entire network setup. As you see, this is the main setup and this have two, and again these are two branches. If this computer requested anything from this, if it has that thing, then it will give this computer. If it does not have, it will request from the above one. Okay. Now, disadvantages of a network. A computer network is a fast and convenient means of transferring and sharing information. There are some disadvantages of computer network too, which are given as under. The cost of setting up a network can be high, especially when a large number of computers are to be connected. Expensive devices such as server, routers, switches, hubs and so on have to be purchased. There is a cost for setting large area network. If the servers break down, the files on it become inaccessible. If the servers break down, the files which are stored in the server is not accessible. Viruses and malware can spread easily through a computer network. If there is a network, then if you see, viruses and malware will spread in the entire network. There is an increased danger of hacking of computers on a network. Hacking is the act of gaining unauthorized access over someone else's computer. The hacker, a person who hacks a computer, then views, copies or create data on a hacked computer. As you see, in a network there are number of computers are connected, but if one computer is want to hack something or to access unauthorized access in someone else's computer, so it can be done. Network security. For this of the disadvantages of virus and hacking, there are some network security measures. Network security. Network has many advantages, but at the same time data security is also important aspect of networking. In network, many users access the same data, so data must be ensured security. In a network, data can be accidentally deleted. Miscreants many manipulate the data. Someone can hack or access confidential data. These are very common problems. So if, like you student, if you have unknowingly delete the data, or you knowingly manipulate the data, want to change the data, or anything you want, or you want to erase that data, so network security is important. Network security refers to all activity designed to protect the usability and integrity of your network and data. It includes both hardware and software technology. Effective network security manages the access to a network. It targets a variety of threats and stops them from entering or spreading to your network. It is controlled by the network administrator. Network security is designed to secure the data in the server and in the flowing network. Okay, there are two types of network security: authentication security check. This is done by assigning a unique login name and corresponding password. A user is assigned a username and password or other authentic information that allows them to access information and programs in a network. Allow a username and a password for accessing any information. Authentication security authorization security check. This is done by giving rights such as read only access, read write access, or no access at all to a user. Read only access means the user can only read the information but cannot change or delete it. Read write access means the user can read, change, or delete the information. No access means the user cannot even read or information. As let's take an example, there are 3 computers and this is the servers. Okay, this is computer 1, 2 and 3. So I give this computer 1 only read only access. So the data stored in this server, the computer 1 is only read that data. If I give this computer 2 only read write access, so computer 2 only read it and write it or delete it this server. And in computer 3 I give no access, so it cannot read or write the following data, because it is the network administrator duty to give the rights to the computers in a network. Now note, network can be of two types, private and public. A private network can be used by people within an organization. A public network can be accessed by anyone. Private network means it is the network organized in an organization. A public network is accessed by anyone. Now next is networking protocols. Communication is the process of sending and receiving information via medium. When two people communicate effectively, they use the same language. A language has some rules. In the same way, when two computers communicate, they follow a set of rules for effective communication. These rules define how the communication will take place between systems and are called protocols. Protocols are the standard set of rules agreed upon by computers across a network. They help in setting up a connection between computers. In a computer system, the hardware, software, or a combination of two is required to implement and carry out protocols. As you know, when two people are communicate, they use the language and they use the proper language. Okay, so they want to communicate. So in the same way, when two computers are want to communicate, so they follow the set of rules, and this set of rules is called the protocols. So need of protocols. Protocol enable computers to communicate without any misinterpretation. They control the flow of data on network. They help to enhance the security of data traveling over network. Factoid protocols are the certain rules that determine how data should be transferred over network, compressed, presented on the screen, and so on. Types of protocol. Many protocols are defined for computer networks. Some of these are TCP/IP, HTTPS, FTP, and SMTP. These all have different functions. Okay, so first is transmission control protocol, internet protocol. TCP/IP is used by computer to communicate over the internet. The TCP/IP component breaks down the data to be sent over the internet into small packets. The IP component routes the packet to a specified IP address, which is the destination. It ensures that the packet is delivered to the right destination. At the receiving end, TCP collects and reassembles the data into its original form. TCP/IP include additional protocols such as HTTP and FTTP. So in TCP whole data converted into small packet, and this small packet is reach the destination, right destination, and at the receiving end TCP collects and so we want to say that when this computer 1 and computer 2 in TCP, when data are transferred, the whole data is not transferred in a one way. Whole data are transferred in the small packets, small packets, and at the end, this is if I say this is receiving end, and all at this receiving end all the small packets are arranged in the full form data. Okay, now next is hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP. Oh, the one line is missing. This is note. TCP/IP is also referred to as Department of Defense model, as its development funding was done by DARPA. DARPA is an agency of the US Department of Defense. Now next is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP is a set of protocol that allows users of the World Wide Web to exchange information found on the web page. HTTP was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. This protocol is based on the client-server model. As you see, this is the server. Client initiates the request and the server services request. Okay, when data communication start, the client initiate a request through HTTP protocol and send it to the web browser. The client uses a web browser such as Google Chrome or Internet Explorer to initiate the request. The web browser receives the request and processes it. The web browser sends the response back to the client through HTTP. So when you open your Google Chrome, you will, and if you want to request anything like for example, what is, you have write what is the meaning of protocol. So this is a request to the web server, and the web server is request your services. So this will done with the help of HTTP. Now HTTPS. HTTPS, data sent through hypertext transfer protocol secure is not secure. Hypertext transfer protocol secure is not secure. Data traveling through a network using HTTP can be easily damaged or stored, and this is where HTTPS is used. HTTPS is the secure version of HTTP. In this protocol, the communication between the client and the server is protected. This protocol is mainly used when you are making an online payment. So the network uses HTTPS for securing your data. FTP, file transfer protocol. FTP is needed to upload or download a file from one computer to another. This protocol is also based on a client-server model. FTP uses a secured method to transfer files over a network. The FTP client checks the authentication of the user by asking them to log in and create their account. After authentications, files can be uploaded or downloaded from the client to the server or the vice versa. As you use in your YouTube. In YouTube, you have to log in and create your account, and then you have to upload and download any file in YouTube. This is through the FTP, file transfer protocol. Now next is SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. It is used to transfer email between servers. It is used when an email is sent by a user via an email client application such as Outlook Express to an email server. It is also used when an email is delivered from one server to user. When you mail something from one computer to another, then SMTP protocol is used. POP, post office protocol. This protocol is an email client application uses one of the following protocols to download the received mail. Post office protocol. This protocol is used to download emails from the mail server to the client computer. As soon as the email is downloaded, this protocol deletes the email from the server. POP3, post office protocol, is the most recent version of POP. POP, in this protocol, when the email is in the server, when you downloaded it into your computer, then in the server that email was removed. IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol. This protocol is also used to download email from the server to the client computer, but unlike POP, it does not delete the emails from the server after that they have been downloaded. For saving the email, it uses more server resources such as disk space and CPU time than POP. Moreover, as the emails had not other computer, laptop or tablet, this was not possible with POP. Let us understand with an example. Rahul sends an email to his friend Sumit. This is how this email is. Rahul opens an email client such as Outlook Express on his computer. He creates an email and sends friend's email ID sumit@microsoft.com. Outlook uses SMTP protocol to deliver the email to the Microsoft Exchange server. Sumit uses POP to download the email from the Exchange server. As you see there, Rahul having an account in Outlook Express, and it creates an email and send it to his friend Sumit. So Outlook Express uses which SMTP protocol to deliver the email to the Microsoft Exchange server. Sumit uses either POP3 or IMAP to download the email from the Exchange server. Accessing a file from a shared drive. To access a file from a shared drive, follow the given. Double click on the network icon on the desktop. The network window will appear in which a list of shared devices are displayed in the details pane. as you see this. Select the required shared device to see its content. Find the required file in the drive. If you want to open the file, double click on it. To copy the file, right click on it and select the copy option from the shortcut menu. In the view pane, select this PC icon to view the storage devices on your computer. Now click on the drive where you want to place the copied file. Right click anywhere on the details pane and select the paste option. The file will be copied to the selected drive on your computer. As you see, this process is very easy from sharing one file to another file. If there are two computers, computer 1 and computer 2, these computers are connected through the network. So if computer 1 wants the data of computer 2, that any file, like there is a movie in computer 2, like movie war is saved in computer 2. So computer 1 shared wants to download this movie in your computer. So it will go to the network pane, network option, and select the shared and select the computer 2 and go to the file where the war movie has been saved. So war movie has been saved anywhere in the computer 2. So it click on this war movie and click on this copy option. Now it comes to its own computer and click on this my PC option, and there are devices disk available, and it will right click on this and click on the paste option, and the war movie has been saved in that computer 1. Okay, this will help in sharing their information. Okay, so I will give you the PDF of this MCQs, fill in the blanks, and question answers. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.